Welcome everybody to today's Building My Legacy podcast. I have with me today two very fascinating people. One is Lily Maldonado and the other is Eliud Medina. These two people have a company that's called Southern Industrial Careers Center. And you can say, why do we have this on building a legacy? Well, those of you who are thinking of that next chapter in your life and you're looking at where do you make a contribution? Where can you have an impact and leave a real legacy with your life? Here's a concept and an idea that may be a brilliant one for you to start thinking about or trigger other ideas in your mind. So Lily and Eliud have a welding center that they have created to help young people develop a career. And I'm going to have them share the story about that. But it's really about building careers and opportunities for people who have been disadvantaged or haven't had opportunities. And they have done this, as Lily and has said, in a male-dominated world, they have been able to be very successful as women. And so Eliud, you're not a woman, but you're part of this team. And I think you're one of the few, judging by the photos, that are part of this female-dominated effort to really enter a very male, macho discipline that we have tended to look at as being primarily strong men. So with that, I'm going to let you start by telling us your story. How did you get into this? How did you come to this? And what is it that you're wanting to do?
Well, first of all, I never thought in a million years, that I would have had a vocational school actually up and running, the way we have it with federal and state grants being funneled in through this school and trying to help the community, right? But I guess it all started when I was 17, I would say, and it didn't happen until later on in life, right? But at 17, I went to a vocational school, just like the one we're running right now. And I trained, to become a welder. And after that, I went in with companies and started working as a welder, or at least I thought I was a welder, at the beginning stages. But you start getting the grasp of it and getting experience. And from there, I went into more management type of positions, right, within the welding industry. One of the good things about the welding industry is it's so broad. There's so many things that you can do. It can be anywhere from a labor to education to business. It's just a wide grasp that it has, right? And luckily, we were able to kind of funnel our knowledge into helping our community. Okay, so that's something that came about. It wasn't planned, but the way we started manipulating things into going, and we ended up with an actual vocational school, right? So it's been quite a ride, or my personal journey through this industry. And yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. As far as an actual business, it's hard, just like any other business, right? There is a lot of things that have to be met. There is all this criteria that we have to keep in check, keep our customers happy, keep our clients happy, and be successful, with the proper ethics in place. Okay.
So Lily, how did you get involved? It's not a career for a woman. So how did you?
No. So first of all, thank you for having us. Yes. So as you can tell, welding is not a very female-dominated industry. I'm actually not a welder, but as you mentioned, our staff is mainly females. I started off my major when I graduated college. I just recently graduated with psychology. And I went in with the intent to, go on and help people, especially where we come from in such a low socioeconomic economy, come from there and help them build themselves up. I never imagined to be working at a vocational welding school, but I'm glad I ended up there. I mean, I think that the staff there too, it's not what they imagined, but just our goal, which is to help the students, not just get a career, but help them in the stages of to get there, is what really got me motivated into applying for this school, and I really enjoy it.
So tell me a little bit about your students, the community that you serve. Who are these people that you educate?
Okay, I think I can answer that one. So we have an array of students, right? We have one of our big population are kids that are graduating high school. Okay, these kids that don't necessarily want to go to college is one of the populations. Okay, the other population is the high school graduate that does want to go to college, but wants to use the welding industry as a step towards their major in college. Okay, and we also have the older group, let's say 25 and above, that they're wanting career changes to be able to make more money. Okay, so we help all those groups out. Additionally, for about 3 years now, we've been working with a group of federal inmates, okay, where they have just come out of prison, and we actually help them, reintegrate back into society through welding in this case, right? So that's actually been a very successful group as well. One of the good things about the welding industry is that for its most part, it doesn't discriminate against having inmates working in the field or having even women. I mean, you would think women, it's more of an office jobs, but no, we have had plenty of women go through our welding courses, and to be sincere, they have done or performed a little bit better than men actually, as far as the welding is concerned. But yes, I mean, we are open to anybody. We've even had people with some disabilities and that they have been successful as well. Okay, so I mean, just because the scope of welding, again, it's so big, we are able to maneuver students, in this case, to go into different aspects of welding.
So you're located in Texas. Do you,
Correct.
do you have reach outside of Texas? What are your plans?
Ooh, right now we just opened up our second location within our local community. Okay, so we're within a 50-mile radius with two locations, right? But we do operate, we do have certifications that we give out through a program that's called NCCER, which is a National Accrediting Association. And within that branch of our company, we are able to reach, throughout the United States. Okay.
So how many students do you reach every year?
In a typical non-COVID year, we run through between 350 to 400 students. Okay. Right now, because of high schools that are being that are not running in person and whatnot, we have been affected by it, and I would say a number about 150 right now.
Okay. So that's a fairly significant reach in your community, and how wonderful you're reaching people that many of us think are harder to serve and to really make some important inroads into their lives. So unbelievable. That's great what you're doing.
Thank you, thank you.
So for you, where do you see your future, the next 5 years or so with your school and what it is that you're trying to do?
Well, right now for the near plans, we are working on being an all-inclusive center. Okay, so where we have the actual vocational school, where we have our certification agencies working with us, where we have grants flowing in from state and federal monies, and lately I've actually been working on setting up a contractor company, okay, that actually is going to employ our students all across the United States directly with us. So we are trying to make that one point, that you can get your train, and then eventually start your career with us. Okay, so that would be the perfect scenario for me, and we are actively working on it. Okay, so that's hopefully we can get there pretty fast.
So are you looking for people to collaborate with you on that, or how are you going about doing that?
Yes, actually. So we're a contracting company as well, right? So we actually employ people through our company, and then we send them out to job sites, right? So the way we would actually get more help was if we had more companies, collaborate with us, all right? So right now, for example, we would have a need for about 100 employees as of right now. So if we can grow that number even further, it would benefit our community, our students even more. And once I can do that, I would want to expand this to other parts of the state, and maybe why not to other parts of the country.
So when you say you have a need for 100 now, those are requests that have come into you for work, that is for employees that are needed to accomplish work. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so there's a fairly large demand if you
Oh,
look at
yes.
that just for your small area.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean the scenes change a lot. For example, pipeline right now it's an issue, right, with the new changes in president and whatnot. But one of the things about welding is that it's so diverse that whether we stay in pipelines or not, or we go into the solar and wind energy or whatnot, welding is always going to be needed. Okay, so it's just of where the people are going to be employed, but the need is always going to be there, right? Because no matter if we're building solar panels, or if we're doing pipelines, oil rigs, or simple products, that we use in our households, about 60% of our everyday products are used some sort of welding in them, so the need is very high, and we do have a shortage, and we can create, the skilled workforce. That is the beauty of it.
Super. So tell me, for you, in terms of managing this company, what are your biggest challenges that you struggle with on a day-to-day basis?
Okay, so lately we've come across a big issue, where students are very comfortable in their zone right now. They are coming in with to train because of government funds that are being produced, right? So the government is pumping money into these type of programs so that more people are being able to train. Yet at the same time, they are in unemployment. Okay, so once they finish the training, they're too comfortable to go out and work and stop receiving unemployment. And that is a challenge that we're having right now, right? That you came to work or to train at school, but you want to wait till your unemployment benefits are out. So that's a day-to-day challenge that we're having, right now, of people wanting to actually go work. So yes, that's one of our biggest, pet peeves, I guess you could call it, because the need is there, the training is there, the skill is there, but the want is not.
So part of what happens is that we have monies right now that are available. How long those will be available as they are, we don't know. But as long as they are,
We don't
the
know.
amount of money people get from unemployment exceeds what they would get from being employed. Is that correct?
It doesn't exceed it, but let me give you an example, right? Let's say a typical welder would make $1,000 a week, where unemployment is giving them 700, 800 a week, because with that extra stipends that they're getting or whatnot. So if I go work, theoretically, I'm only getting $200 profit, so might as well just stay home and join my family, right? Rather than going out to work, not see my family, and only for $200,
Got it.
So yeah, so that's the issue. Our answer, is that yes, we understand that that might be an issue right now, but unemployment is not forever. It's a period, and you're fresh out of training. You're not going to go waste your time only for $200. You're actually going to, reinforce your skills so that you're able to compete later on in the future with more skilled welders. But I guess it's a matter of perspective, and that's the perspective that I have the ladies, trying to reinforce. That's the burden that I guess I put on them, make them see that this is not about the money. This is about you becoming more valuable as a person, and getting the skill set reinforced at a job site. That way you can become, have a steady future. Okay, which they don't have right now. A lot of our students, they are fresh out of high school. They don't know what they want to do yet, or they're already adults and they've been, working in odd jobs, you could say. Some pay well, but then 6 months out of the year they struggle, and then they do good. And welding is something that can be offered, that can keep you steady throughout your lifetime. Yes, you are going to change employers here and there, but the pay is very, very well. The skill set, as long as you have it, it's going to be fairly, sustainable as you go across your life. So that's what we can offer with these programs. But again, it's a matter of perspective, from the individual. Okay.
Any other challenges that you face? That's a huge one, but other challenges that you face as well.
um Let's see. Well, I mean, for us, as far as the business itself, there are day-to-day challenges. We are heavily regulated by state authorities, so keeping everything in check, that our students are being treated, the way they should, uh, having all the paperwork that should be in place, our audits. It really, for me personally, it's a really big challenge, because we have the human side aspect of the business, which is treat our people with ethics, treat them with respect, and, do our best and even more, for them, so that they get the good training. And then at the same time, I have to juggle around with the legal side of things, so it's fun, to say the least. It's fun. You have to be really, really passionate about what you do, to be able to keep up.
So what brings you the greatest joy when you say it's fun? What brings you the greatest joy with what it is that
My
you do?
greatest joy, believe it or not, I mean, is that when a person finds a job or gets a job in the welding industry, it's the best thing, because it means that we're doing something right. you know it just means that we're doing something right, and it just motivates us to keep on going and doing it more and more.
So it's that sense of accomplishment for you. It's that purpose. Your purpose is really building and growing people and seeing them accomplish their goal. And what a beautiful thing that is.
Yes.
Lily, as a woman looking at what goes on, what do you see? How do the women respond, and where do you see opportunities for women?
Um, as a female in the industry and seeing what the students go through, seeing them come in, the opportunities that are given to them, it's amazing. As a community, what they can accomplish to help the people in the community out. I've had students that come in out of high school, don't know anything. We have several programs. They go in through one program, they pass that one, they're excited about, their career. They go through our other program, they get their license while they're there, and it's amazing seeing what they're going to become. And as females, we're very empathetic, so just it's not only what's going on in the shop or what we're going to help them become after they graduate, it's the problems that they have while they're in class, especially right now with the pandemic. We had a lot of people that, they were very discouraged to go because they lost a family member. It was hard on them. They couldn't see family members that were in the hospital. So I think it really helped them having, the representatives there to have someone to talk to, even though it wasn't about, let's say, their career or what work it was having someone there to kind of motivate them and show them the bigger picture of why they are there in school. And how Eliud said, it's really nice seeing these people coming from low socioeconomic backgrounds, and then giving them an opportunity to get a job where they can help their family and their, relatives get out of that community or that um, level where they're at.
So if, as people listen to this podcast and they think, wow, I'd like to get involved and help with that, what are some ways that people could help you with what it is that you're building and creating?
Okay, I think the biggest thing would be giving these people, the students, opportunities. A lot of the issues that the students have is that they don't have enough experience, or obviously when you're looking for a job, you want an employer that is well-rounded and has the experience. A lot of these students out of high school, they take the certificate and they want to be given those chances to prove that they are able to do it. So I feel like a lot of these employers, it would be nice if they can open their doors, either just to give these new students kind of like a rundown or just an insight of what it is that they do, because a lot of the jobs that are in the welding, there are a lot of hands-on. They have to be there, they have to be active, because like Eliud said, it's not office work that they're going to be doing. So giving them the opportunities and so they can build their confidence, I feel like that's one of the most important things that employers can help us out in.
Do you have an apprenticeship program so people could get started with a company for a period of time, get their feet wet, see if that's what they want?
So yes, actually, we do have programs that we work alongside with our local workforce boards, right? They are called the work-based training, which is an opportunity that the student has that as they're going to school, they can also work part-time and they'll be getting paid at an actual job site. Okay, so that's a really great opportunity for them. As they're going to school, they can start making money already, and so that when they graduate, they not only went to school, but they also have something on the resume already, for experience wise. Additionally, after they finish the work-based training program, they are also offered an on-the-job training program, right? The on-the-job training program is made to, help the employer, want to hire that individual that runs through our school. And the way they do that is by actually reimbursing part of the wages from that employee. Okay, so the state actually helps, the employer by refunding a very large percent, depending on the time. For example, right now it's at a 75%. Okay, so
Wow.
yeah. So that is set in place. These programs exist, and we want the employers to know this, right? That there is help even for the employers, so that the new employees can get their feet wet, in this industry. Okay, and that is exactly what Ms. Lily does in our company. Try to distribute the word, put the word out there that yes, we want help, but there is also help for you along the way as an employer. Okay, so that is our biggest thing.
So really, it's a very low risk for an employer to try this and to partner with you in terms
Exactly.
of getting people to work.
Exactly.
So if people are interested, what would be some of the criteria? If a company is interested in having an apprenticeship program or having a student come and work alongside them in that student work program, what should they think about? What kind of processes should the company have in place to allow them to be successful as well as for the student to be successful?
Well, we do have these programs with several companies already, right? And most of them are very successful. The way they are more successful is that understanding that the student that they're going to get, or the employee that they're going to get from our school, is a rookie, right? And with that set in mind, they don't hire them and put them automatically as a welder, but they set them into their company and they start training them to their company. So every company has different procedures set in place, and different standards that they need to meet, So asking for a welder, especially a rookie welder, and expecting them to perform like your older, welders that you have there, it would be very, not possible. But rather putting them through a program within your same company that works alongside our school. We can help that employee become good for your company in specific, and that's part of what our school and our training does. We can custom make it to your company, and you also get the benefits of working with the government funding to help you pay while they're going through that training within the company. Okay, so it's like you said, it's really a low risk for an employer to hire one of our guys and train them up, while they're going through the work-based training. The work-based training includes general liabilities insurances, so that the company is not responsible as well if an accident were to happen. So even that is taken care of. Okay, so it's really, really low risk. It's just a matter of getting the word out there and linking the employer with our new students. Okay.
Got it. So one of the things you talk about a bit is leadership. How do you lead in this environment where you lead by example, but leading when you have this very varied group of students, female and a male world, people who've come out of prison and are trying to reestablish life, people coming from a neighborhood and a environment perhaps where work has not been the pattern in their social network. So how do you lead by example in that kind of a setting?
Well, I think that most important, it's ethics. It comes down to my personal ethics, right? For example, one thing that I have embedded in me, it's something as simple as being on time to everything that I do, right? For an employer, that's a valuable thing, and even in the world of business, um, sometimes I'll say things that are not necessarily the best for the company, but if I said it, I will keep my promise. I'll have that as part of my ethics. So I'll always do calculated, risks, right? But every once in a while, um, things get a little bit, you say something that you go a little bit overboard, and that's fine. Uh, I don't do it always for the money. There is a human aspect to business, and I think that if you keep that human aspect alive, it'll bring you down the road. It'll bring you more blessings than what you can give. So I mean, having that said, there is a lot of things that men are limited to in this industry, specifically welding education. Okay, I feel that the team of ladies that I have with me, um, I have a better aspect of reaching out to the students than the one I can. So pretty much all the ladies that I have here in the office that work with me, like Lily, Crystal, Maria, Angie, they all complete a part of what something that I cannot do, and they're part of the team for those reasons, So I'm very comfortable with reaching out to any one of them and asking for things that I know I cannot accomplish as good as they can. Okay,
So what would some of those things be, Eliud?
so for example, we had and I'll throw this one in there, we had a student that was having a problem. He had issues of he just had come out of the penitentiary, and he was feeling very scared. My approach, because I do come from the world of welding, and it's not the nicest per se, the group of people that we hang out with, it's more a rough, pattern, I guess. uh, I don't think I have the skills to really calm a person down on my own and tell them, this is gonna get better, or what. But in this case, Crystal, one of our school directors at our other campus, really took her time, and did it well, And I was actually there to presence it, and I was very impressed, how she was able to maneuver the situation from becoming aggressive down to a easygoing conversation, and reigniting the spark of why he was there, and completing the course, and eventually into the field, and I sincerely think that that's something I could have not done myself, because I don't think I have that energy to do that, when somebody else can. So
So I always think that that's the art of great leadership, is knowing what you're good at and doing what you're good at and letting other people do what they're good at, right? Sometimes we think that we need to be everything, but humanly, that's not really possible, is it?
no, I don't think so. And like, for example, here, Ms. Lily, she is a great spokesperson for the company. She has represented us out there with Fortune 500 companies, and, sells our product, our students out to them, and we maintain good relationships with them, so that's a skill that she has that I don't think she knew she had, but she was forced into.
But when we have opportunities, many of us are surprised when we discover what our talents are. And what you've done is you've given that environment where people can discover and then step up and really deliver. So that's remarkable.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anything else that you want to share with the audience before we conclude?
I would let them know that if they have anything in mind that they want to try, to go ahead and try it, because it's very true, especially in this industry. You never know what you have until you give it a try. Like I tell a lot of the welders, especially the female welders, the majority of the time we don't realize what we're capable of. And if we stay in that what if, what could have, I should, we're never gonna know unless we actually do it. So all those people that are looking into joining the welding industry but don't know if it's for them, I would say go ahead and try it. We have a lot of opportunities in our campus as well for the students that are trying to come in. They get free trials to see if it's something that they want, because one of the most important things in our school as representatives is to practice what you preach. We wouldn't want to put anybody in a situation where they're not going to succeed, whether it be putting them in that line of employment or having them join one of our courses, even if they're not really, that's not what they want. So it is, try it. I would always say try it, because you never know that that's for you unless you do it.
Wonderful. On that note, we'll conclude this. Thank you so much, Lily and Eliud, for being with us today. And for those of you who are listening, we will have information about the company in our show notes. We will have information about how to be in contact with them if you would like to be in contact with either Lily or Eliud and get to know more about what it is that they do or how you might be able to collaborate or partner with them. So thank you so much for being with us and sharing your story and creating another thought in terms of opportunities for building legacies for our leaders. Those of you who are listening today, thank you for being with us. And remember to visit our website at buildtomorrow.com and all of our social media sites as well. Thanks much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell button above. Leave comments. We'd love to hear what you think. And visit our other social media links as well. Thanks much.